Hello, family. Wow. So much is going through my head right now. And I'm just very emotional. I'm I'm very much bothered. I'm very upset about what's going on, what has been going on. For one, how this world, the powers that be, aim every day to keep us written out of history as the true people of the Bible, the Israelites. We are literally written out of history. You imagine the efforts that they do every day to keep us written out of history, whether it be from deleting your videos on YouTube or removing your platform from a different social media, such as Facebook, or just flipping the maps so you don't know where north from south or east to west. Whitewashing your ancestors. Writing out history as though the powers that be that have been here way before we have. I can go on and on and on. I'm hurt. My heart aches. I don't know about you, but I want justice to be served. I want the truth to prevail. And the only one that can do that, who has the power, is the Almighty, the Most High. The power to change this whole dynamic. I never knew in all my life of my spiritual walk, I never knew what I know now. A question was asked to me in November of 2017, around that time. Where did slavery came from? I heard a voice. It stopped me in my tracks as I was walking from one side of my office area / great room of my house to my desk. That's when I looked up to heaven and said, Father, I don't know where slavery came from. Where did it come from? Immediately popped in my spiritual realm. To read about Noah and the 3 sons. That's a start on my quest for me to understand more and more. And from that day changed my life. I have not been the same. I've been on this path, on this run for knowledge and understanding. But I did not know by me coming into this that today, which is May, I'm not even sure what date it is, that I'll be where I'm at today in a moment, to whereas even what I've learned through a whole year and some months is still not enough. It just was scratching the surface. So, my Hebrew brothers and sisters, I want to say this to you all. I've been one on the forefront sharing about being one-on-one with the Almighty, with Yeshua, putting the Almighty first. I've been on that path. But what's to add to this is that when you get into an area, and which I know some people say that this is the season or year of knowledge, where he will pour out his anointing even more on us, and bring more knowledge, instill more wisdom within us, and so forth. But to say this in that is basically is that it's like if the Almighty, and I can only speak for myself, brought me through a place to be here right now, where I need to tie up any loose ends in reference to, you read over these scriptures, but did you really, got an understanding? Did you allow the Ruach to decipher and discern? And you read it, but now is the time, right in this moment, is for you to understand that is more to it. So for everyone who woke up and came into this truth, which is the awakening, and you are still at a place where you trying to figure out if you are an Israelite, you trying to get the pieces all put into places for you to understand. I must say, if you're still there in this moment and you've been awoke for, say, maybe 5 or 6 years or 3 years or 2 years, well, I just feel like the Almighty is shifting us into another whole realm, another whole area for us to now start seeing and seeking Him, for Him to unveil more and more truth to us. If I could suggest anyone, for those who just coming into this truth and you trying to piece the pieces together because you want to see how 1 + 1 makes sense, which comes to 2, and you want it to line up to understand, okay, we in America, how did we get from Africa to here? Why it makes sense to say we were on the promised land and we got shifted around or scattered. So you're trying to understand. So one person that actually comes to mind, and I have his information as one of my main videos, is Ronald Dalton, who have done his due diligence, according to what the Almighty have led him, where he have put together the first video documentary, and now I believe it's the second one is out there, and it's walking you through for you to understand, because it touched surface with the origin, it touched surface with the language, it touched surface with just your way of far as the laws and who have kept those laws and who's continuously to keep those laws and how it ties in and connect to people. It speaks volumes. So I would definitely recommend him to you. His first video, I haven't seen the second one yet, but my understanding he has 4 books, 4 sequels, 1 through 4. So it's called Hebrews to Negroes. So I strongly suggest you get that. And above that, seek the Almighty, because he might want you to go a different route. He might want to take you through the steps, because the quest that he put me on, he had me to go through each phase accordingly. And he led me to who he wanted me to be led to. He didn't have me to join a group or join a church. He just dealt with me, and still to this day. But I'm at a point where little pieces here there are popping up, scriptures. But in my, quest of where I'm at now, of I'm beyond, am I Israelite? I'm beyond that. I'm beyond that we are the people. I'm beyond that. I'm beyond debating people and writing comments and trying to, bring people in to understand. Oh, you just don't understand. I'm beyond that in that light, unless the Almighty leads me to make a comment and thus, in that sense. But I'm beyond that. Where we at and should be at is there are going to be things unfolding. I truly believe that is going to shake us. It's going to stun us. Because even though we feel as though we got into this truth even further, we just scratch the surface. The very books that are in the Bible, that which we all, so often want to cling to, which is King James Version, we got to understand and know that in that moment of us getting, far as the knowledge of the Bible, and then going through and seeing it's 66 books, and then coming to find out just 2 weeks ago, I came across the Slave Bible, where there were books that were moved out from those 66 books. So that right there should tell you that it's just more to it. We want to just know that we Israelites, and just know, this is what it says. This is what the Bible says. And then that be what the Almighty is doing within me. And I'm not sure if it's happening within you, but I want to say that it's happening, that he's taking us into another whole level. He's shifting us. And he's going to give us according to the timing that he needing us to get it. Part to it is that I felt like I got this desire to want to know about my history, far as where I came from, probably about 11 months before he asked me that question. So where I'm at now, where he is allowing me to ask questions when I get to a place in the Bible, like I said, I read from Genesis all the way to Romans, and I'm at a standstill, so to say, because I know about what happened with the Romans. They invaded the Promised Land in 70 AD, and what happened at that point in time, and who took over our artifacts and our books and our, different things that we've had, and took it back to Rome. Who are those people who did that? When you read up on their history that came into the land of Jerusalem, according to Josephus' book of iniquities and not iniquities, but his books are what he have written, and said that he been in the era of where Jesus, Yeshua, was there. um that speaks volumes. So I'm just here to say, you all, it's just so more to, I believe is more to it. You should already by now got over the fact and understand, oh, you're an Israelite, and what? And not only and what, but what is in this truth of what we have in front of us. What does else need to be known? What lies have been told, even of what we believing is a truth that we're circling around? The Almighty is going to unveil this. When we have a question mark that doesn't add up for us, we're supposed to seek him for it. And it's not you going in and making it fit, a puzzle, a piece of puzzle to fit into other puzzles that is not a fit. So I truly believe this is the time that he is opening up the pathway for us to seek him, diligently seek him for truth and knowledge and understanding. Because what's going to hit this earth, as it's hitting it, I truly believe it's going to shake our core if we don't have the open mindset and the understanding to know that it's more to it. See, we good with stopping where we at because the Bible has been around. But the part that we felt that we needed to add to the equation is knowing that we are Israelites. Well, not only that, now it's shifting to where you need to look at the Bible. What's in that? Who put that together? Why these books were decided to be added and what was decided not to be added? Why? And then when you get to that place, why are we have been written out of history? And even to this day, still trying to write us out of history. So as you see before you see the books, the Apocrypha books that were actually removed. And this is a different, on my desktop is a little different, so bear with me. It gives you a reason why. It literally tells you that it was taken out in 1885, I want to say. And see, it's a little different on this. Let me go here. This might can break it down. So when you go here, it says, what is this? And as you see the different books here, and these books are in the Roman Catholic Bible, but it's not in the King James Bible. So it says here that the Apocrypha is a selection of books which were published in the original 1611 King James Bible. It was positioned between the Old and New Testament. Even it contained maps and genealogies. So it also says here the King James was in a part of King James for 274 years until being removed in 1885. So many claim that the Apocrypha should never have been included in the first place, raising doubt. So all this time they're saying that it should never be included, but it's included in the Roman Catholic Bible. Saying it wasn't believing it to be God inspired. For instance, a reference about the magic seems inconsistent with the rest of the Bible. So I'm just here to, open up your mindsets. And what the Almighty is leading me to say is that we need to go deeper. Now you know who you are, and you living according to the commandments and, the laws, and the feast days, and the Sabbath.